Hey everyone, Jason here, and this week we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do trades and pickups, and I know this isn't something I normally do on my channel, but I'm looking to branch out a bit, and hey, I gotta admit, I had a pretty productive month this last month, so we got a lot to go over, so let's go ahead and get started right now. So I'm actually involved in a small trade group amongst some YouTube gaming channels, and Joel from Poor Man's Retro Game Room is there, Mark from Dad Racer, we've got Alex from Master Cheese Gaming, and several others, and I'll put a link to this in my description below. But anyways, yeah, part of this is we actually have a trade spreadsheet out there, and we kind of compare and contrast and look for deals and kind of reach out to each other and determine who's going to get what. So the first ever trade that I actually did was with Mark from Dad Racer, and that was a kind of a 3 for 3 deal. And to start with, Mark gave me this great looking copy of Spyro the Dragon on PlayStation 1, so thanks for that. And he also threw in this Harry Potter game on the Game Boy Color, which I'm looking to bolster my library there, so that was good. And he also gave me Cruis'n USA for N64, which is a game I was really looking to target because I've got a lot of nostalgia around this. I love this racing game on the N64, so thanks for that, Mark. And I gave him a Sega Genesis 6-button controller, as well as a Spider-Man X-Men Arcade's Revenge, I believe, on the Sega Genesis. So thanks for that, Mark. And he was actually kind enough to throw in this bonus keychain right here, this really cool looking little Mega Man. I'm actually using this for a pool, for a blinds pool in my game room. So thanks, Mark. I do appreciate that as well. And I hope you're enjoying your Sega Genesis stuff. So next up, I did a trade with Joel from the Poor Man's Retro Game Room, and we actually did a 32X swap. So he gave me WWF Raw on the 32X, and I gave him, I believe, Metalhead and Virtua Fighter on the 32X. So from a financial standpoint, they're about the same value, the 2-for-1 deal. I'm not a huge wrestling guy, but I did have my wrestling favorites throughout the years, and my son, in fact, is a huge wrestling kid. So I think we could probably get some fun out of this when we dust the 32X off and build the Tower of Power. And Joel was actually kind enough to actually throw in a bonus game, which was Sword of Sodan. And this is a bit of a joke more than anything else because I know that Joel had a video specifically about how bad this game is. But anyways, I'm always glad to have a bad game added to my collection from time to time. So thanks again for that, Joel. I do appreciate that. Next up, I had a trade with Alex from Master Cheese Gaming, and I knew he was a big Ken Griffey Jr. baseball fan on the N64, and I actually happened to have a copy of the Super Nintendo version of Ken Griffey Jr. kind of lying around. I threw it on the trade spreadsheet as bait, and he came for it. We were able to negotiate a deal, and I got Super R-Type on the Super Nintendo, and he got King Griffey Jr. Baseball on Super Nintendo. So I'm a big shoot 'em up fan, shooter fan. I like these space shooter games on Super Nintendo, so I'm always looking to acquire more of these. So I think it was a fair trade, and I think that Alex is probably getting some enjoyment out of King Griffey, so that worked out well. Thanks again for that one, Alex. So that's it for trades, but I actually did some pickups as well. So my family and I like to go to citywide garage sales, antique malls, things like that, just looking for good deals on anything, gaming related or not. And I've been seeing more gaming related items, and in fact, the last couple weekends that we went, I found some Nintendo games there. The first of which was Akari Warriors. And it's in really good shape, awesome looking condition, and they've got $12 on this one, but they had a 25% off sale as well. So I got that for a little cheaper than that. So I got that game as well as one that I've actually really been looking for, and that's Gun.Smoke or Gunsmoke, Capcom's shoot 'em up, Western shoot 'em up on the Nintendo as well. And this one was marked a little higher. This one was 30, but again it was 25% off. So a little bit better than what you're going to pay on eBay or something like that. But I got to support a local business at my local antique mall too, so I'm happy with that. All right, so let's talk about Craigslist deals. I know everybody tells me Craigslist is dead. I shouldn't be going there. Facebook Marketplace and those types of things have superseded it. But yet I keep bumping into deals. And I got a couple really good ones this past month as well. So let's talk about the first one here in front of me, which is this Atari 2600 original 6-switch. This is the light sixer version. So, but yeah, working condition, multiple games, multiple instruction booklets included, multiple paddle controllers, multiple joystick controllers. $20. $20 for all of this. So let's go over quickly the games that came with this deal. So starting off with, we got River Raid right here. Great Activision game, probably one of my favorite ones on the system, so glad to see that one be involved in the package deal here. Laser Blast, another Activision game, which I hadn't played, so nostalgia free for me, but I actually do like it. I dig this one, it's cool. Donkey Kong, the Coleco Donkey Kong, all-time classic for the system, included. Combat, gotta have combat, right? Got combat. Missile Command, Defender, Asteroids, Berserk, another classic, and then Space Invaders. You gotta have Space Invaders, right? We got Space Invaders. So all these work. They've all been ritualistically cleaned before I put them into the systems. That's how I always do. It's part of the fun here of finding all this stuff. But anyway, proven that Craigslist deals can be had. You just got to be vigilant, be out there, be looking for them. And yeah. All right, now, really exciting score for me. Let's go over all this stuff and get into it. So there was an ad that popped up on Craigslist a few days back, and he just was blowing out a huge collection of multiple different systems, both the consoles and the games. And some of it almost seemed too good to be true. And one of the things that caught my eye initially was especially the TurboGrafx 16 cards, the Hue cards, which are pretty rare. And to see some pop up, and he was asking for very cheap, just generic prices on all of them, really caught my attention. I knew I needed to investigate this, and so I did. Went over to the guy's house to see if it was legit or not. And again, I started off with TurboGrafx 16. He was asking for $10 a pop for his TurboGrafx 16 card. So I pulled home Keith Courage. Let's flip this around the right way. Keith Courage. No, that's not one to write home about, but when you're seeing TurboGrafx games for $10, you buy them, right? You buy them all. Next up was Victory Run, which is a game that I did not have. $10. R-Type. $10. Bonk's Revenge. $10. Turrican. $10. So you can see I was already excited to see what else he had. So I'd already made out like a bandit with what I just came across right there. But I was like, I got to keep going here. I got to keep mining stuff out. So I did keep going. He basically had like a blanket $5 fee on all of his N64 stuff. So I used it as an opportunity to not just target great looking deals, but just to bolster up my collection a bit. So Cruisin' World, great racer. I like the Cruisin' series, $5. Beetle Adventure Racing, another great racer. I like racers on the N64. I think that platform lends itself well to racers. $5. Star Wars Racer, Episode 1 Racer, the pod racing game. $5. Wave Race 64, which I love, but actually didn't have a physical copy of. $5. Starting to see a trend here. I think this is San Francisco Rush. Maybe one of the sequels or something. I just grabbed it. $5, right? So I got a lot of racers there for $5. So, but it didn't stop there. So we had some more stuff going on there. Let's see what else. Nintendo games are pretty picked over by the time I got there. I was not the first person to get there, but I was able to still get some deals. Picked up a really nice looking 5-Screw Kung Fu, which is a game that I like a lot, but surprisingly didn't have in my physical collection. What did you think? $5, right? $5 for that one. And then now let's get into the Super Nintendo ones, because this is where things got really interesting for me. Actually, let's do a couple more here before we get on Super Nintendo. We got NBA Jam Tournament Edition on the Sega Saturn, $5. PlayStation 1 games, they were pretty picked over, but I was able to find one score here. This is Mega Man X4. I do collect the X series on the PlayStation. How much do you think it costs? $5. Now, let's get into Super Nintendo because things get real here, right? Yoshi's Island. Good copy of Yoshi's Island? You guessed it. $5. Super Return of the Jedi. Great Star Wars series. $5. Look at this one. Super Bonk. Really rare game on the Super Nintendo. It goes from anywhere from $60, $70, $80 now. $5. Star Fox. What do you think I pay for that one? $5. Super Castlevania 4. $5. And now this one, for some reason, he was big on the. He's like, he knew this one was more. I was like, hey, Doom from the Super Nintendo. What do you want for it? $10. I said, I'll go $10. So $10 for that one. Now, Chrono Trigger. You thought I was gonna say $5, didn't you? No, not $5, but an interesting story here, right? So I was chatting up with this guy as I was going through these games and picking up all these games, which I thought were incredible scores. And he was a gamer. I don't know if he knew the values of these things. He knew this game was valuable, but he hadn't shown it to anybody else. And I guess because I chatted him up so much, he took a liking to me. And I was asking him, hey, what else you got? You got anything else? And I was looking through Wii games. I was looking through Wii U games. He had some crazy deals on Wii U games, like $5 a piece, and they were all sold out. I missed on that. But I was asking him whatever else he had left. And he said, hold on a second. I got something you may be interested in. He came back, and he plopped this game in front of me. He goes, do you know what this is? I said, yeah, I know what this is. I said, how much are you wanting for it? He says, I don't know. I can maybe $100. So I said, you know what? Yeah, man, I'm taking this home for $100. So I got a Chrono Trigger in addition to all this other great stuff that I already piled on here for an amazing deal. With this being obviously the most expensive out of the batch, but I now have a new crown jewel of my Super Nintendo collection due to Craigslist, guys. So again, keep an eye out there, man, because you don't know what's out there. There's some great deals to be had. I'm amazed that I came across this one still. I'm terribly excited that I did. I can't say enough exciting things about how I bumped into this deal. But anyways, that's my basically my pickups and trades for this month. I take that back. I do have one more video that I could do that's a huge PS2 haul, but it's gonna probably require its own video. So if you like this, stay tuned. I'm probably gonna have one more in the queue here, probably in the next week or so, to follow this one up for a huge PS2 haul with some very interesting titles in it. So stay tuned. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions or comments in the chat below.